Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. The views and opinions expressed in this video and on UME Radio YouTube channel are those of the host and or the guests and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of UME Radio YouTube channel.
I am just hoping if someone purchased this CD. It's called a spiritual erotic expression of love. Yes, if it is mostly geared to couples, and this will help to inspire couples to be more mindful and be more appreciative of what God has given them. And it's a very good stimulator to build up yourself in the bedroom. Yes, it's highly sexual. Yes, so it has that mindset for you to think on sex. That's what it's all about, because God ordained it for marriage. So if you are married, you should be functioning at the junction. And this CD does help to stimulate your mindset. So if you have lost your buzz or lost your fizz or whatever it is, you better get right down dirty diggy with it. Come on now. We're not going to neglect that part of our marital bed. Well, we know a part of marriage is communication. You know, you're verbally talking, but also connecting with your body is another form of communication as well. So this CD will certainly help you in that area. It will, if you have a little slow in that area or something kind of offbeat and you kind of lose it, like I said before, come on, put that spot back in there, honey, and get back on that horse. Okay? All right now. I ain't joking now. This is real. Okay? God said marriage is honorable. The bed is undefiled. So you better work it. Come on. You got your husband, got your wife. Work it. Make that bedroom spicy. Come on now. I'll work it. Because let me tell you something. God made marriage for a reason, and it's for us to enjoy each other. So it's important for you to spend time in that place as well. Not only, like I said before, communicating through mouth, connecting with each other, you know, praying, doing different things, but also get jiggy in the bedroom. Okay? So this CD will definitely help you in that area. Trust me. Yes, it's kind of heavy. So if you got issues and got some, you know, things about sex, about your body parts, well, I don't know if you can listen to this, if you can contain yourself, because this is highly sexual. I ain't playing. Okay? So get your copy today at the website. Oh, trust me, it will blow your mind. You get a little tip of it at the website, but I want you to order it. And once the order comes through, I send the copy out to you. You just order it on the website, and it's $5, and you know, plus you pay shipping and handling to get it to you. So, and order one for, you know, your couples. You got your young people getting married. Thank God, some of them are getting married. Give them a copy in there. Give them a copy of the CD in their gift bag, or you know, something, whatever you're doing. You know. Throw a copy in there. Buy a few. You know, give out to married couples to spice up their relationship. All right, so thank you. God bless.
I am a author. So my book, Things Left Unsaid Before I Do, is about questions that I wish I had asked or I had gone in depth in before I got married. And those questions would have clarified certain aspects of the marriage to probably help it to be a bit better. I mean, not everything that the counselor or premarital counselor can help you with, but at least those basic things I believe should have been covered. So that's what it's about. A little over a year after I got married, that was my first marriage. I was at work and I thought about some of the issues that we were having, and I decided to it started out just by writing them down in my diary and writing things about them that I wish I had known and how to better deal with it. That's how it started. You can find my book via Shopping Assistance JA there on Instagram. And if it is that you want to order it via online, you can order it on Amazon. If you want to contact me, you can contact me via The Unfiltered by J, that's on Instagram, or Gloria Adigold on Instagram.
Let's talk
relationships on ICYMI Radio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
And love, emotions, sex.
It's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
and DJ KTE.
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on UME Radio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on Yumi Radio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the UME Radio app to listen wherever you are. That is UME Radio. One word.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Welcome, welcome, welcome another Monday night to LTR. That is Let's Talk Relationships. Here we have an awesome time. And tonight I'm here with my lovely, amazing co-host, Lady Misty. She might be coming on soon, but until she does, we are just going to get the party started. So, folks, I hope you had a pretty good week. I know that this week was a week when many celebrated Thanksgiving and, family and friends met and ate together. I would say break bread together. I know Thanksgiving has a pretty interesting history, and there are different thoughts and ideas about what Thanksgiving is about and how it started. But just looking at where we are now and seeing what happened in the last just couple of years, I think just to meet together and be alive, that by itself is a real blessing, a real blessing. So I don't get too much into the semantics of things. I'm just very thankful that we are here and that we can celebrate another year, another day. And we have so much to give thanks for. We have so much to be thankful for. And I'm just grateful to be here again another Monday night with you here on Yumi Radio on Let's Talk Relationships. Not sure if my host is having some technical difficulty. She might be having some, but there she goes. Welcome, Lady Misty. Welcome.
Hi. Hi.
Tonight. Yeah. All right now.
Hi. Good night.
Yes. Welcome.
How are we? Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay.
I can see you. I can hear you. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Oh, that's better. Yes, I can see you and I can hear you. Good night.
Beautiful. Good
I
night,
have
my
been
dear.
working to see if I can, y'all can see me. I know y'all miss my beautiful face, so here I am tonight.
Big time. Finally, the princess is here, right? Lady Misty is back in the flesh, as some would say, right?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Good to see you.
Yes, so good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Let's Talk Relationships here on You Me Radio another Monday. Of course, here we explore the dynamics and evolution of relationships, identify challenges, and offer perspectives through transformative conversation.
Yes.
We are here to promote strong, healthy family life and community. Now, it is very important, guys, that you know that this is not our intention to offer opinions or advice on how you should live your personal life or how your personal relationship should be. Hey, do you, boo? Do you? So do your research. Be a free thinker. Make sure you're doing well in your own life as well. And no, we wish you love and happiness. So we look forward to a great show. And of course, we want to say thank you. We start with an attitude of gratitude. And so we say thank you to all our partners, supporters, listeners, and viewers from all over the world. And of course, we want to say shout out to those on YouTube. I see them coming in slowly. Good night, guys. I see Tashana is in the house.
All right.
Excuse me.
That's all right. Make sure you get your
Tashana.
water now. Get your water.
Yes, I need to.
Uh-huh.
So I see Tashana is in the house, and I see some persons slowly coming in. Good night, guys, over there on YouTube. Thank you for coming. Now we know you could be in so many, you could be doing so many other different things, and you could be in
Uh-huh.
so many other different places, but you have chosen to spend the time and to keep us company tonight. So
Uh-huh.
we value your time, and we are going to jump right into our main topic right after we share a few reminders. So, again, thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Relationships. I am Lady Misty, and with me, of course, all week, every week, here is the wonderful man I have as my co host, and he is.
DJ KTE. I'll tell you.
That
That's how we
is
rock it.
correct. The one
All
and
right.
only DJ KTE.
And
And tonight, guys, we want to say happy birthday. Anybody celebrating a birthday tonight, today, this week? Happy birthday. Please drop your comments so that we can say happy birthday to you. Or if you are celebrating a wedding anniversary, hey, we are
yeah,
here for it.
kudos. Happy
So
anniversary.
if you're
Yes.
celebrating a wedding anniversary or you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday and happy anniversary to you.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is November 29th, 2021. And the
Yes,
time now officially is 9:07 p.m. And we're getting ready to rock and roll, y'all.
definitely. Now, guys, remember to listen or watch this or any other episode on Yumi Radio and, of course, on all other major digital platforms, including via our app. So get the app, guys. It's Yumi app.yumiradio.com. That's all lower caps. Yumi Radio is one word, and it's available on the App Store or the Google Play Store. You
Mhm.
can also find us on Vision, that's reaching 1.7 million homes, iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google, Podbean, TuneNews, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, Listen Notes.
Yes, and
So
more.
you can
That's
find us
just
everywhere. You can find us
that's
everywhere.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, so tonight we have in store a very interesting meal, huh? We
Yes,
have
we
to
do. Yes, we do.
break it
Yes, we
down and
do.
dissect it and see how the different different food particles become together in this
Exactly.
I would say interesting title tonight.
Interesting title. It's a very interesting title, and it's a title that I guess we don't speak about that much, but
Yeah.
we here for it. We here for it. So tonight the topic, guys, is, are men ever dissatisfied in the bedroom? Are they?
Hmm.
Mm, I don't know. They're always, doing their thing.
hmm
So we want to hear from you tonight, guys. So drop your line in the comments. Men, I want to hear from you, okay? And be real with us now, be real with us now, all right? So I want to share some things with you. Just a few things from your www.yourtango.com. And on this site, it it highlights 13 signs your man is disappointed in the bedroom or maybe disappointed in the bedroom. We're going to bring on our guest, but I want to share a few with you before we do that. So, one says you are drifting apart. That's number one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Another one says he is not mentally present during sex.
he's
Hmm.
gone, huh? He's like
He's
away,
gone.
away. All right.
Yeah, and usually we hear women that usually have this sign. We're thinking about the dishes, thinking about what we're wearing tomorrow, we're thinking
hmm
about the children, but men, that's
Yep.
interesting.
Is the
He
car
ran
engine working?
is the car is the car engine working? Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Another one says he randomly switches things up, so it's the same old, nothing new.
uh-oh.
Another one says he tells you up front that your skills are lacking. Now, some men are savage.
Wow.
They'll tell
Yeah,
you that.
wow.
Yeah. Another one says he prefers porn. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Another one that's highlighted says that he tries to get over with it. So I just want to be
Like bam
done.
bam.
I just
That's
want
it.
to be done.
No
Yeah.
lingering. That's
I want to go watch sports or something.
you want to
I'll go
express
play video
McDonald's.
games.
Mm.
Yeah. Another one says he goes to bed earlier than you.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Don't wake me up. Don't wake me up. I see in the morning, honey. Don't wake me up.
Another one says he refrains from sex completely. He
Okay.
doesn't touch you. He zones out. He doesn't want to talk about sex. So
Mm.
those are some interesting, very
Yeah.
interesting signs.
11 say he doesn't touch you.
Yes, he doesn't touch you, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't touch you, right? He stops initiating, and men are usually the ones to say, "Come on, baby,"
Exactly.
they give it that little
Grabbing
eye.
here, touching there,
Yes.
knocking
Oh
things
my
over.
goodness, I'm telling you.
Mm.
So I want to hear from you guys tonight. Especially the men. I want to hear from the men tonight. Are you ever dissatisfied in bed? We want to know. We want to know. We want to know. We want to know. So drop your comments.
Are we dealing with just a married couples, or we dealing with just anyone in general? Because sometimes a man could have a dissatisfaction in the relationship, but when they're married, maybe it's not that way, or maybe vice versa. Maybe it was great in relationship when they got married, just like what happened here, like downhill.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
yeah.
That's true. So I mean, we could look at it in the confines of a relationship, uh, uh, an ongoing relationship, a marriage. Hi, entrepreneurs allowed. I am back in living color. Good night. Yes, I
In
am
living
here.
colors.
And guys, just a side note, guys, y'all be just praying for my internet, okay? Pray for my internet so it stays so that y'all can see me.
Yes.
All right. Yes, love the topic. Good night, Satin Brownie. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Good night. What is Satin Brownie saying? But most importantly, I am here for all this make energy. Yes. 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 Yes.
She's having to speak her
I
mind.
see you.
That's for sure.
I see you. I see you. Yes. So tonight, DJ KTE, we have some travel escapades. Good night. You're always present. Yes. Listen, thank you for keeping our company. Listen, we have a all male panel tonight. We call them the Forum 4. Travel escapades. It says a nice topic. Yes, a night just for us. Finally. Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay. Need some male interest. Yes. So we got you. We got you. We got you.
All right. Well, let's bring him out.
So tonight we have some special guests who will be joining the conversation tonight. We can't talk about this by ourselves. We need company. So we are going to be seeking to empower you tonight with our amazing audience with amazing guests. So please, 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 please say welcome tonight to the Forum 4 Black men. Yes, and they're all black and they're going to be keeping it real tonight. So let's bring on our guest. Good night, good night, good night.
Hello, good
And
night.
welcome to Let's Talk Relationships. How y'all doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good night.
Good night. Good morning.
The men are looking ready. See, we're talking about anything with the bedroom. See, men smile. See, the Jamaican men smile. We talk about the
KTE,
BED.
listen,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel
They're not playing. They're ready.
Listen, I feel so blessed tonight. I am on tonight and I'm surrounded by all this testosterone, this energy, and I'm hearing deep voices and I'm hearing strong. Oh, I feel good.
Go. I'm telling you,
I'm ready to talk to y'all. Good night. How are you, gentlemen? I hope you are doing well. You had a great Thanksgiving for those who have celebrated Thanksgiving. And let me pause to say, it's belated, but let me pause to say, happy belated International Men's Day. I hope you had a great day.
Yeah.
What was
That
that?
was on the 19th. It was on the 19th. See,
Yeah.
listen, ladies, we gotta bring this out. Our men need to hear this, okay? It was on the 19th of November, and that was International Men's Day. And I want to say, from me to you, happy belated International Men's Day. I value men, strong black men, doing it, crushing
That's
it,
good.
and
Well,
representing. So,
well, thank you very
yeah,
much.
you're welcome. You are most welcome. So tonight, the
I have
topic,
a bone to pick
gentlemen.
with I got a bone
The
to pick with my wife now because she didn't put that on my calendar.
Oh my God. I hope I
Uh-oh.
didn't cause no problems.
Uh-oh.
I hope I didn't cause no problems. So tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about, are men ever dissatisfied in the bedroom? But
Yes. I'm
before we
sorry.
jump into the topic tonight, I want to go around the table. So just briefly introduce yourselves and tell us what you do.
Yeah.
Mark, you want to jump out there first, brother?
Yeah, I'll jump out there first. Well, thanks for having us on the show, Lady Kitty and DJ KTE.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us. My name is Mark, otherwise known as Big Mark. Yeah, I'm come from Tina Lady.
All right now.
Yeah,
There you go. All righty.
Go ahead.
My name is G Money.
Yes.
And also known as Garrett, and I am in hospitality, and I'm very happy to be here. And I've listened to your show a few times, and it's a very cool show. And I'm looking forward to talking about this topic this evening.
Great.
Oh, well,
great,
thank
great.
you. And thank you for being here tonight.
I'm Dre Dog, also known as Dre. I'm ecstatic to be here. Thank you guys for having us, and I can't wait to get this started.
All right.
You're most welcome.
I'm the last of the litter, man. I'm T. I go by T. Name's Terry. Married 4 kids. I'm self-employed in the insurance industry, but we've been gaming up for this for a long time, and we've been talking about it. We've had our one-offs for this, and we're fired up. We're ready to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get after it.
All right,
the
great.
fire started, guys. We're gonna light this match right now. We're about to light this match.
Yeah, good night, everyone. My name is Steve Lawrence. I'm always here talking about relationships. I look forward to hearing what all the other fellas have to say about the journey in this area. So let's see where we go.
And by the way, guys, Steve Lawrence is a returning guest. So, in case anybody get excited, you can back me up. So I got my backup tonight. Steve said, Steve real quiet.
Yes.
Steve real quiet and let Lady Misty do the job. I'll let me and Steve just walk back in. I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be great.
All right, so I'm kicking off the conversation and I'm jumping right in. Are men ever dissatisfied in bed? Or y'all just always just having it and all just enjoying yourselves all the time?
Uh-oh.
So
do I say yes or say I say head yes there? I say yes or no.
I see no. I see Dre Dog saying no. So I'm gonna start with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with him. I want to hear.
Talk to us, Dre. Want to hear? Talk to us.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. So come on, tell us why. What's happening?
It's got to be one of those things. I feel like women are more emotional, and if they're not feeling it and they're not, excuse the term, throwing it back at you, it's just like, okay, yeah, let's just end this. Let's see what's on TV. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
It's got to be one of those things where we're both excited to do it. And if we're not,
I don't know, Dre. It depends on what kind of freak you are, because I don't have that issue. It's going. It's happening.
God is good. Oh, I hear you.
Bless the Lord. So T, you've never been dissatisfied in bed. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying never. Okay, so never is a.
Remember your marriage. Come on.
You know what I mean?
As far as I can remember.
As
far as I can remember.
Okay, so there's nothing perfect in life, right?
Yeah.
But yes.
I'm gonna get mine. I'm okay. So I hope that you get yours, and you're okay.
Well, let me kind of lay this premise down. Right now, there are levels of enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have the explosion, and you have it's great. It was a nice meal, but we're talking about now with that level, it's still good, right? It's still good, but I'm talking about like when it's disastrous, like it's just horrible. Like what happened here? We're talking those extremes.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's never disastrous.
Okay.
It's never horrible.
Oh, come on.
Never disastrous.
But but there's still, you know, you know when your significant other is just, all right, let him get his, and let's call it a night.
But
You know
that's
what
not
I
what we're
mean?
talking about. We're talking about disastrous. Like, it's horrible. It's
Well,
bad.
that's disastrous to me. Like, if you ain't giving it
Hell
back to
no,
me, that's
that's a
disastrous.
service. That's all. Hey, you do your thing. Do your thing. You know what I mean? That's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
I think Big Mark is thinking something there. I want to hear Big Mark. Big Mark, like, I don't know, but come on, Big Mark. What you saying, Big Mark?
I don't think we need to start using that word disastrous, because I think the question is, are men ever dissatisfied?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I was
Right.
going on.
That's a wrong B
Right.
word. Yeah.
Right.
Take on a whole different form.
I was trying to get a spectrum here so we can get some.
But
some kinda,
I would say that men can be dissatisfied, you know. And then you got some freaks out there that, you know, they just, as long as they get theirs, them, that's a win. Okay. You know what I mean? There's some guys out there like that. I ain't gonna say no names.
Terry, I just want to say, if that's what you're interpreting from what I said earlier, I have definitely been misrepresented. Then I mean, it's a shared thing. You're gonna get yours, I'm gonna get mine. That's a shared.
So can we
Don't do
define dissatisfied before we even?
You didn't like it.
You walked away from it like
it.
you just
didn't
was
like
terrible.
You didn't like it. I shared earlier some of the things that some of the signs that men are dissatisfied, like they don't want to touch you, they want to get it over with. I'd prefer to go watch sports.
Tired.
You say you're tired. You go to bed before us. I know women we fake it. And come on now, ladies, be honest.
That's the
right?
truth. You said it. You said it.
And a lot of times men don't pick that up.
True.
So I want to know that's true, Dre Dog. A lot of times men don't pick that up. So I want to know, do men have the capacity to do that? Or is it that if they're not satisfied, because men are usually just upfront, they are logical beings, they're just upfront about things, and most times if they don't like something, they're gonna tell you. All right. Yeah. Can men fake it though?
Yeah.
I think men probably have a better chance of faking it than women.
Really?
I say that because I say that, listen, you can moan and groan as a woman, but there's certain physiological things that you feel that you know if they're faking it or not. A woman can groan and moan as long as she wants, but there's confirmation at some point.
Interesting.
Interesting.
If the runway's not ready, you know, I mean, come on.
Wow.
I won't be too crass on this shit, but
Listen, I want to hear from Steve because he's been so quiet, just listening to y'all just go on. I want to hear what he has to say.
The thing about it is, I realize that life has no fantasies. Even though we've been cultivated, that's been a part of our engendering and our inculcation. We have these expectations that aren't really defined by our abilities and our needs. It's usually dictated by whether it's what we watch, what we're exposed to. And the truth is, within a relationship, you're learning each other. And just like any other knowledge acquisition, you're not always going to start out amazing. None of you. It may go very well, but as you spend time in it, as T spoke about, because he's married and I'm also married, and I've found that my marriage involvement and intimacy it supersedes anything I've experienced as a person who is out there playing the field. I now have intimacy that I'm not about winning. I'm about trying to show reciprocity. I am ensuring that my partner is so amazingly covered and she is doing the same thing. And that now results in us being so satisfied that you forgot that you could have been disappointed.
Right.
While outside of marriage, there have been hit and misses, there have been highs and lows, there have been
as
There you
someone
see it.
intimated earlier, where you just want to be done and be gone. But I find having a safe space, a place where you can honestly connect, really cuts away a lot of the stressors, because insecurity robs the experience. Uncertainty robs the experience. So if you're going where you don't belong, you're not enjoying it as much as you would if it was all yours. I see you smiling, Dre Dog, but I'm saying it comes in Jamaica, Mark.
Yes,
Back
sir.
me up here.
Yeah,
we
man.
have this thing where old broom know the corners.
Steve Corners.
Steve Corner, good. So in marriage, I've found that the more time we have spent on this journey,
Yeah, it seems to have paused
yeah,
a
we
little bit.
lost Steve for
He'll
a
come
minute
back.
there.
He'll
I'm
come
sorry
back.
we lost him. I just want to go and say that what he
There
said
he
was
is.
everything I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah. So I'm here to back
That was
you
it.
up, T. That's my job. That's my job.
That was it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you see,
eloquently put, Steve. Eloquently put.
I want to know something though. Men, how do you deal with a miss? I hear Steve talking about hit and misses. How do you deal with a miss? You're in a sexual encounter and it's not that great. How do men deal with it? I know men are different. They're different, you know. How do you deal with a miss?
Let's be objective though, Lady Misty. We are talking about it, but we have to play the ball straight down the middle. Pun intended. Right? While we're referring to it from the perspective of the female not making the man feeling science is saying that by the time you hit 40, about 50% of men are going to have some amount of sexual dysfunction. Whether it's late starter, early starter. No, Dre Dog, this is a science.
I'm just saying, I just turned 50. That didn't happen to me yet, so stop.
Yeah,
stop jinxing me.
and you're blessed. And you're blessed. But I'm just saying.
Not bored, Dre Dog, not bored.
Not bored. I'm just saying, there are many things that happen, whether it's related to hypertension, diabetes, general health, even societal, even stress.
Yeah.
COVID-19 did a number on a lot of relationships.
It did.
And stress at work. Some of the things that a man has to contend with, because especially when you're the provider, the stress of it can impact many things related to performance. So sometimes even the whole thing of the hit and miss has nothing to do with your partner and how wonderful it could have been. It may just be what you brought along to the table, whether it's the baggage.
But do women understand that though? Because women are very emotional and we pick up on energy, and if we have partners who for example, I'm going down the list of the things that this website spoke about, and let me just go back to it. So for example, one of the things says that he's not mentally present during sex, and he tries to get over with it, or he refrains from sex completely. Those are the signs that says he's dissatisfied. But do we understand as women that sometimes it may be, psychological, mental, a man is going through a stress? Do men talk about these things with their partners? Is it something that men should do more of? Because if you are withdrawing away from me, I'm going to automatically think that something is wrong with me. Or you're not, you aren't, I'm not satisfied.
And vice versa.
You.
And vice versa too.
And that's true. That's true. So
Lady
ahead,
Misty, you make a good point. But if you think about our culture, what is really big on performance, the love song, the rap song, the DJ songs, and manpower, and last long, all night long, baby, let me know. It's really about how well we can throw down. It's very pervasive in our culture. So a lot of times men, rather than talk about it, they may evade the idea, and hope that whatever it is, they may go to get strong back or buy some mix up there and try to find some other ways around it, and some do some very heavy things too, stone here, then that thing there, and then sometimes the woman say, but last week you were good last week, but this week you kind of, maybe you run the money, you didn't get to buy the thing that you bought last week, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is that as I hear Lawrence and I hear even Dre, the thing is that the question I have in my mind is that can a man have an erection and not enjoy sex? Because I'm thinking, that's how the man is there. He has some kind of a lift.
And that's why I asked the question: can a man fake it?
Yeah,
can a man fake it? Because I know the brain works with the other member, and everybody's working together. So how do you fake it? Usually, I don't know. But I'm not a man. I don't know. So you got to tell me.
You can fake a leg cramp, or
you
can get to a position where you fall off the bed or whatever. And
my God!
You know what I mean?
I hope you're not talking from experience.
No, come on.
No.
That's all we talking about.
Oh man, never come to my mind. My goodness, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I got a cramp in my stomach.
You got a cramp. My God.
Listen, men can be dissatisfied in the respect that you can have an erection, have sex, but maybe you didn't get fulfilled with, whatever, maybe you want a little more freakiness in the bedroom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe you just didn't want to do a slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay. Maybe you wanted some extra stuff.
But Mark, that's like afterthought, bro. I mean, that's not even dissatisfaction. Like the list of things that Lady Misty was saying, like, not wanting to have sex and all that other stuff. No, that's not. We're talking about already having the erection and getting it in. And how often does a man get the erection and start having sex and then just is like, this is terrible?
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to see that. The way we built. It's like people say, how can a man be raped? Unless you say, but no, I have AIDS. I'm sick now. Oh no, you're sick. But I mean, how can you rape a man? It's like, how does that work?
In the moment, I don't think the man can be dissatisfied in the moment, in the act. If he's dissatisfied in the act, I mean, I don't think he's going to perform. He's going to say no, or it's just not going to work out.
Mark, have you ever been with a woman that you were with, right? And you just, you had sex with her a few times, and it just didn't work. It just was the sexual encounter was just bad enough to be like, you know what? I'm gonna stop picking up the phone and calling this up.
Hey, I'm a married man, right?
Obviously, we're talking about before marriage, brother. We're talking about before marriage, man. I know you too long. Come on, man, don't do that. I'm gonna start calling names out and shit. You know what I mean?
I think I heard the word ever, ever. Yeah, I heard the word
back in the day, bro. Before you were married.
Back in the day.
Way
back in the
before
day.
you met Jesus.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
We talking BC, brother. BC.
Right, BC, right. Let's just put that out there.
I do remember, a situation where, I was that dissatisfied, but I just cut ties. I didn't,
okay.
I ghosted. I ghosted, you know what I mean? I left.
Yeah.
Find me no more.
Okay.
And that's where I left it,
Yeah. So that's what we do, that we walk away from it, right? That's kind of when we're in that situation a lot of times, I would imagine.
So
before you put a ring on it.
Is the dissatisfaction mostly of a physical nature or otherwise?
I think if you can't connect emotionally, we're not even going here physically. That's not even pushing
come
that far
on,
down the road.
stop that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
It varies. It varies. Because like someone alluded to earlier, in marriage, it's definitely more emotional. And I think on both sides. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is your wife. You 15 years. Yeah.
It's that physical attraction that gets everything started first. And then once things go longer, as the relationship gets older, I think then you look for those certain things of intimacy, that you're not looking for this female. Sometimes you don't mind the foreplay or the afterplay, if you will, after the thing, but There's times where you can tell when your partner's not in it, and it'll make you dissatisfied. But as far as dissatisfied in a relationship, I have to agree with what the Mark said. We
Can I
ghost.
can I ask a question to the panel?
Yeah.
What if the person you married is not as freaky anymore?
And you need to talk to that person and say we need to get our freakiness better.
Look, you've been married 20 some years. You know what I mean?
That CD in the beginning of the podcast. Buy that CD.
We got a CD for you. I'll give you the website.
I'm gonna send you the link. Come on, man.
I have a question. But I saw Lawrence's hand raised a while ago. You was going to you're about to say something, Mr. Lawrence. I do have a question.
This towards Mr. Lawrence. So
yeah. Oh, you're also Lawrence, right, Mark?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, my brother.
The bolder Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to take a jab at you know what? Let's leave that one. The thing about it is how sex is a coming together. Not necessarily that's the outcome of the coming together, but two people deciding to connect. Now, for me, I'm talking about it within relationships that are committed. I am fully aware that there are many flavors in the game. We all have that BC that Brother Mark referred to earlier. But the thing about it is, we also have to acknowledge that you're in this together. So you might have a partner that's going through stuff. And it might mean that it may not just be about the physical. Say, for example, you may have males that they have a neurological disorder and it is painful. So they have the erection, but whether it's from a sensation disorder or dryness or whatever it is, they may be having major discomfort. Now, the commitment to please, he'll go hard. He'll put the work in and suffer quietly.
Wow.
But the challenge with that is when you have created that trauma that is now tied to sex, the next time around, you're not looking forward to it if trauma is tied to that activity that you used to enjoy so much. So it's about partners being able to say, okay, that's uncomfortable for me. Could we stop? We don't have to fall off like someone intimated earlier. We don't have to fake a leg cramp. We could be like, let's pause. Let's have this talk. Because for me, I know a lot of it for me is the discourse, the discussion. I'm very cerebral. So I want to have the conversation. I can't do the run into you, look into your eyes and tussle. That's not my journey. That's not my deal. I love the conversation. I love the interaction. I love the minds playing. And then because of that high level of communication, you should be able, because one of the things, as you mature through your encounters in a relationship, you're learning each other. And you should create a safe space where your partner could say, you know what, that is not working for me. Or could we try something? And it should not be a case where, you're coming with something new. Where did you go find this? What have you been looking at? Because that's one of the things too. People are so afraid to raise issues, one, to raise concerns, or to even suggest, because by default, it's where did you get this information? I've known you for 10 years. Where is this coming from? Who are you listening to? What have you been involved? So we have to create that safety where your bedroom becomes a place where you come when the world is knocking you about. That's where you're heading to know I'm going to be made whole. I'm going to get reset. I'm going to get my wounds licked.
I like that. I like that.
Great.
Are men allowed to be dissatisfied? I mean, it doesn't feel like a man who has a woman who's willing to okay, she's like Dre Dog was saying, like she's like, all right, we'll go ahead and get yours, and you complain like, well, I didn't have to do that at all. I mean, are we actually allowed and when we're talking about in a committed relationship to be dissatisfied or to actually say, I mean, we can talk about, being a little more freaky or trying some different things, but are we actually allowed in a relationship to be dissatisfied? And that's a question.
And that's a good question. And not to say, like, I understand what you're saying, Mr. Lawrence, about like trauma or past trauma, but we're talking about a healthy relationship, correct?
Yes.
Well, the truth is that's ideal, but it doesn't represent.
Let's just say in general, we're talking about a healthy sexual relationship, and just like G said, are we allowed to be dissatisfied? Because if we do say something.
That's a great point. Your great question, G Money. But I think that if you think about a relationship, right, it has its peaks and has its valleys, its highs and lows, right. So in this commitment, right, there might be days when maybe this is your night. In the sense that I may not feel the way I felt last week, but I may just do something just for her. So that intensity I may feel maybe a little different. So because it's an ongoing moving thing, it just comes with those moments. Those, am I making sense, guys?
Absolutely.
You tell me. So I was thinking that way, because there's somebody I love and committed to.
That's partnership. That's reciprocity.
Yeah. So because if she feels that I'm dissatisfied, how does that really, tell that at her heart, being my partner, or vice versa? How do we change that to like?
I think that's where the conversation comes in. I may not speak for every woman, but there is something that is intimate about you coming to say, all right, babe, honey, whatever you call your partner, I'm not satisfied in this area, and how can we work at it, stuff like that. There is something special about that conversation that may even improve sex, because then as a woman I would know what's not working so right with you, and we'll work through how to get the job done, rather than you over there hiding it and I'm over here thinking, okay, what am I doing wrong, and you over there ignoring me for 3-4 weeks and I don't know what the problem is, and I'm over here all in my feelings, and thinking about what is happening, and nobody is addressing the elephant in the room. And every time there is time for sex, you ignore me, or there is there's always something. You come home late, you gone out with the friends, you play video games, I'm working late, that kind of a thing. And I'm tired and all of that, because men use that too, not only women.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I think that the conversation that you're talking about, though, is coming from a level of real sexual connection with your partner. That I would imagine takes years to develop. Because in the beginning parts of a relationship, if you're saying something that doesn't satisfy you, someone might take that as you're talking bad about them, and they really handle those statements. I think it's awesome how you describe that, and I would love to be able to say that to my wife, and then her say, "Okay, well, let's talk about it," instead of saying something like, "What the hell are you talking about? You came, didn't you? You know what I mean? Like whatever you I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, like that, that kind of thing."
There are women who will respond that way. I know women that will respond that way, because I'm like, hey,
I need to go to Jamaica.
Like,
I need to go to
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Talking about?
But I'm gonna throw this out there, Lady Misty. Especially for you married, for the married folks here, right? We got some married men here. So, have there ever been a time in your marriage when you actually spoke to your partner and said, "Hey, you know what? If you did this, or maybe dress this way," like specific? Because sometimes I was married. I'm not married now. I was married before, and there were days when I think my wife at the time just didn't. Maybe she came from work. She was tired. And just put something on. Went to bed. Nothing really particularly enticing. Whatever. Just a regular thing. Maybe a favorite nightie, but it wasn't necessarily one of those, shiny, glittery kind of thing. Have you ever had to tell your wife, if you do this more often, whether it's a hair, a wig, or certain clothing, to make you more stimulated, more excited, make you wanting her more? Have you had to do that before in your marriage?
Hey, DJ KTE, if I ever tell my wife that, I'll be done for about 6 months. I won't.
Why? Why though? Why?
Wow.
It's that community. It's the conversation that we're talking about. I don't know if.
It's the lack of communication that we're talking about.
Yes. It's a gap. Where the bridge, how do you bridge that gap?
I mean,
that's the
why we're here.
Part. Yeah, damn right.
Yo, Dre Dog, in that days, man. That's your thinking there, man.
No, I was just pondering it. Has it like me and my wife had that conversation, and I mean, because we do the role play, and
y'all should try it. Just experiment.
No. We've done that.
He said done it, yeah.
With the wigs and the whole nine, it was all good. And then we had kids, and then so it kind of like like Mr. Lawrence was saying, like having that moment and that intimate moment and stuff like that. But every now and then you just need that quick 5 minutes. That quickie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Whatever the case may be. Yeah. Mommy and Daddy are talking right now. Like a door. But I feel, as far as the topic, can be dissatisfied. I would say yes, and I do talk to my partner when that happens.
Oh, okay.
Peace.
Okay.
Steve, you got something going on down there, brother. I see it cooking.
Yeah. The thing about it is, we're not cultured to have honest conversations and be receptive.
Sure.
And outside of that too, apart from the dysfunctional communication, you have to create a safe space. So for me, in our marriage, we know we're always building each other up. It's always affirmative. It's always support. So any statement is never going to be taken as if I'm trying to criticize or tear someone down, because you have to be careful how you even use the language.
Yeah.
Because even trying to win an argument, are you trying to create a loser out of the partner that you're going to spend your life with?
Wow,
because that can have long-reaching and far-reaching repercussions. Yeah. So it has to do with the hygiene of communication within the relationship, one. And also, I heard you, Mark. I've had relationships where honesty could not be allowed because that would be detrimental.
You have to be very careful with you.
Yeah, very careful. But now I hit the jackpot. I have a wife who I can shop for the toys, right?
Wow.
I can shop for the toys and say, hon, Amazon, what do you think? And, that has made our lives 1,000,000% better than what we had before, because now it's an honest, I'm like excited to say, let's try this stuff. This stuff we bought that we after one time, we're like, nah, that was a piece of crap. And then there's the one that will be in our travel bag for a cruise. I
hear you.
I got the right one, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. Goodness. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Mark, you said something very interesting a while ago. If you had to go back 10 years ago, and look at where you are now, what are things that you'd have done differently, conversationally, opposed to now? What would you have done 10, 15 years ago?
I actually like me better now than then.
Wow.
Yeah. Back then, I was that guy who would tell you, look, I don't like anything that you've done. And, I was pretty bad. What I've become is more patient. What I've become is more understanding. What I've become is respecting other than expecting.
Oh wow!
And I got that nugget from one of our panelists, T, many years ago.
And just so
like
you
that.
know, I got that from anger management classes. That is not mine.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Say it again, please. I like that.
Don't
that
expect respect.
Yeah, don't expect respect.
Wow.
And I learned that years ago, and that's carried me. You know, it's carried my marriage. It's carried us, you know, through some thick times. You know, and so it for me, it's just giving up more of yourself for the partnership. And can I be dissatisfied? Am I really dissatisfied? You know, in the bigger picture, no, I'm not. You know, do I have everything? Is it, you know, mapped out the way I always wanted it? No, but I love my wife. I love our marriage. I love our family.
Nice.
And that makes me happy. So that makes me satisfied. So, you know, that's just the larger picture of it.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're not talking about dissatisfied in the relationship. We're talking
knew
about
somebody was gonna
dissatisfied.
do it.
Y'all some satisfied brothers out here, man. Good lord.
I
You know what I mean?
tell you.
Wrong path. What you, y'all, everybody's
We're on the
satisfied.
wrong
now.
path.
It was supposed to be about sex, not about the relationship. Right?
It's the words that Steve said, Mr. Lawrence. He said the hygiene of the communication. That's exactly. From that
It stuck
soliloquy,
with me too.
the
It stuck
words
with
that
me.
hit the hygiene of the
Yeah.
communication, because that's important.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. It seemed like men are a little more, I guess, empathetic, or I would say generous in their response to being dissatisfied. Because I know I've read a story of women say, "Hey, what's going on here?" They have this expectation of men, you know, and it's like, you know, they tend to seem to be a little more abrasive. You know, they feel like, you know, what's going on here? You know, you're not working. Your tool is wrong, or they seem to be a little more
Yeah, that's true,
expressive
DJ
about that.
KTE, because
Is that
women,
would you guys say that in your
I hear you
experience?
I hear you talking about expect and respect,
Yeah.
and based on our culture, and we've been talking about culture, and men are culture to perform. Men are culture to, you know, go at it. So when you're in a relationship with a man who isn't doing that, automatically there are red flags, right?
It seems that way.
Because on a normal scale, normal men do that. So, you know, automatically say, just like what you said a while ago, DJ KTE, what's going on? You know, what's happening? What's happening?
Because you know,
know?
I hear someone say, and they kind of spell out these things like the man, he goes to work. Sometimes he has two jobs. He deal with the stresses of life, you know, on the job and everything else, and you know, we're driven to care for families and protect them, you know. And sometimes we have a strained girl or a strained boy, we got to watch out for them and who's whatever it is, and then now we expect to perform as optimum, you know. So I've known of stories where it's like men feel castrated when the woman's like, "Hey, you know, what's up? What's going on here?" Without even have a good conversation. "Hey, you know, honey, I know you're tired, maybe," or even try to make him, you know, give him some kind of restorative kind of approach, and he feels beaten down. And a lot of men are very silent; they don't talk about these things, you know, to other men. They just kind of keep it on the low. But it is a very interesting ongoing thing that I know. Because you know, women can be nice, but they also can be brutal when they're ready, and sometimes not even knowing that they are.
Yeah. We
Just
can
the
be
culture,
savage, I know.
Yeah, just the culture, the way
savage.
culture as kind of position things is just an expectation that gets us. So I'm not sure if you guys can address those things where you felt that you were not up to your expectation, just as a man in the home, and you just didn't know where to go to, you know, and maybe how if you did find some route and some way how, share with us, you know, share with our audience, because a big part of what we do is educate our audience, to give them our real story or real life, and they can draw from it and maybe avoid some of their own pitfalls, some of their own, you know, future hurdles. Because you men, to me, are experienced men, you're not 20s. You guys in their 30s, 40s. You guys have
you grown.
life.
You grown.
You guys have been there. You've done that.
Y'all
I
are
can see it.
grown.
I can see it. It's a lot of
You get
wisdom
our
in this room.
playbook on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom in this room. I can see it.
I would say this. I would say that.
Dog, why do I feel like you're not kidding about that book on Amazon? Why do I feel like you're not kidding?
I would say that one of the things that I've learned over the years, when there was that DJ KTE, that disconnect that you're talking about in the bedroom, the one thing that I was able to do was I was able to bounce it off of these gentlemen that are with me, the 4 and 4. We've been friends for a long time, and our ability to call a forum is what we call it. We call it a forum, and we would get together and we would talk about whatever's going on, and sometimes we'd actually relate in certain situations in terms of, man, it's been like a month, man. She ain't even trying to, she ain't even trying to do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and we could talk about it and things of that nature. And sometimes we would talk each other off the ledge of going or maybe talk me off the ledge of going and seeking out something other than what I should have been doing. But more importantly, you know what I mean? But more importantly, I think that the communication is key. If you can't talk to your partner about it, but you do have some people that you can talk to about it, they can help you through it. And that's kind of what we do, and that's important. And it's tough. And there are times when you can talk to your partners about it, and I can tell you, man, Mark is so sensitive that he's given me some advice that has really helped me through the years and some of the things that he said. So you just have to be empathetic to what's going on in your situation and try to figure out how to manage it, maneuver through it, and help your partner get to that point where they once were in terms of their sexual desire for you.
Listen,
all right.
I don't know if I like you calling me sensitive on live.
Hey man, don't do that. Don't do that. It's real, man. That's a real thing. It's 2000 sensitivities. All right.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Lady Misty. Thank you, Lady. There you go.
That's a good thing. Listen, guys, you are listening and you are watching. You're listening to Let's Talk Relationships here on ICYMI Radio. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you're a little bit late, but we are happy that you came and joined us. Please remember, guys, to drop your comments, your questions, anything relating to the topic. Tonight's topic, we're talking about, are men ever dissatisfied in the bedroom? I'm here. I'm going to be reading your comments. So, drop them. I'm going to be reading them in a few. I want to ask a question because when I posted this promo, I got a message. I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and he was asking about porn. Does porn, and we're talking about sex now, so does porn make up for dissatisfaction? Is it the right way to go? Is it the wrong way to go? What are your thoughts, men?
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead. Why don't you answer that one, Steve? Go ahead and answer.
I'm going to say the same thing Steve said. I'm with him.
G-Money.
G-Money's hiding away from that.
You're going to have something really profound to say. Go ahead.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Goodness.
I'm pretty transparent. I'm here for transparency. So,
nice.
In my BC, the truth is, porn never had a place in my life because I had the real experiences and options, right? So I never had a place
you had
for porn,
options,
right? I never had a place for porn. But the interesting thing is, it's actually been a safe place for many people. It has saved many people from going where they shouldn't go. A lot of people have used it for learning material. As a matter of fact, I remember growing up as a teenager, if you got any kind of recording, whether it was a tape or a DVD or whatever, and had content that you thought was beneficial, you would be sharing it with anyone who had an interest because it was seen as learning material.
Absolutely.
Right?
I got you.
Now, fast forward to marriage. I recognize, and this is why I encourage the hygiene of communication within the marriage, because people assume that cheating is about sex. They always assume that a male spending time with a female is about pursuit of sex. And it has been my experience where, because I could not have the conversation at home, I found a place where the conversation could happen, the listening. Because a point was made, and DJ KTE, you made a good point. I'm in counseling with a couple now where the male has been slashed because of COVID. He's down to like 20% of his hours, right? He still has all the bills to carry. Now, you understand as a female, Lady Misty, as you approach a certain point in the month and your estrogen levels rise, you're on all the time.
Listen.
But the man is coming
telling you
home,
about
he's
it.
cut down 80% on income. He's trying to figure out, how am I going to make these bills? How am I? He doesn't even want to bring that to you. He doesn't want to, he can't discuss it with the kids. He's trying to figure out, how am I going to do this G money? How am I going to do this trade off? How am I going to do this mark? So you're peaking hormonally.
Oh, yeah.
He's crashing because guess what? When he's under stress, he's not doing any of that thinking. He's at survival mode. He's in limbic system. He's about adrenaline. How can I go get that money? How can I patch this gap? And when you can have that conversation, where there is no safe place to have that conversation. And I grew up in Jamaica, and I've heard many conversations, many relationships crash because of the economics. Right? So we have to make sure that we create that space where these conversations can happen, because it's critical.
That is a real
life and death
thing. That is a real thing, Steve. I can say I've experienced some of that. Economically, when things weren't right in the home, wifey's not happy. But it's not more. It's more than just not being happy. She doesn't feel secure. She doesn't feel safe. And I still want sex, but she doesn't feel safe or secure. Because we've all said it here on the panel, women are very emotional. That's the last thing on her mind. But my ego is bruised because I'm not earning. And in order to boost my ego, I want sex.
Reach.
But guess
right. Because I know some men deal with stress that way. They have sex.
That's a real thing.
Women too.
All men dealt with stress that way.
Women too. Women too. I think I'm one of those women. But okay.
Well, Lady Misty, I have a question for you. Would you rather your man use porn if you two weren't clicking, or would you rather him run the streets?
I'd rather him use porn.
Okay.
If that's an honest answer,
Yeah. And I think a lot of men, and I can say for myself, I'd rather use porn than run the streets myself.
Well, it's easier, and you ain't got to buy nobody no drinks or nothing like that.
I ain't worry about deleting text messages.
He said it's economically safer.
I ain't got to delete text messages. I ain't got
none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
This is deep. It's funny because you have people have ideas about porn, and it's a very thin line. It's a very personal thing, I think, in many ways. I mean, I think there's your porn where you deal with even massages. It's just massage, or to massage your partner. I mean, they're naked folks. You have folks who are married people giving their ideas to a married person, Then you have those porn, I think, which is very, very almost like the people on drugs. They're being somehow, manipulated somehow. Sometimes the young people will be maybe captured, or sex trafficking, all these different things going on.
You watch it, sir.
And then you have, I'm saying, but it is. Because if you watch the news, it's there, isn't it?
Satisfaction, though, DJ.
I just wanted to write that down. What site was that?
It is there, yeah. Right.
Does it warp expectation though, as it relates to satisfaction and watching porn? Does it warp your expectation? Because
I think it's
come on, y'all know that some of these things ain't real.
Well,
right?
I think it's every individual. Every individual is different.
Okay.
Speaking for myself, if I'm watching porn, I'm not thinking, oh, that's me, and that's I'm doing it to this person or whatever. And then I'm not going to think my wife is going to do the same thing I saw in the movie. You know, she has her limitations, and and if she was doing something above that, I'd be like, where'd you get that from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be a little freaked out. But
if you didn't smack her in the booty before, don't start now.
Oh my God!
Wise words, Mark.
But that's that conversation. Then you gotta have that conversation first.
At least before, right?
The hygiene of your communication is not very clean. I can tell you that.
Choking her out now just because you watch.
But you know what? I tell you one thing, guys.
Put around here.
You know,
Oh
Dre,
my God!
you made a statement, but you know, I was a lover of documentary, and I remember when we, at the HBO some years ago, and I don't have the cables now. Just basically, I don't all watch TV now, but HBO showed a lot of documentary, and I used to see a lot of things that was like, wow, to me it was eye opening. Like really, from cultures to different way people look at sex. In fact, some cultures talk about people get married, husband let the wife let her husband go to other men. And it was normal in that culture. Some cultures, you're allowed to have many wives, but in this case, here in America, if you guys, you should guys pay attention. But a lot of things happen within the porn industry because it's money driven. So some take it by force, some take it by just trickery, and they spit out these things. My first experience with porn, I was 18 years old, and there was a friend of mine who they had give me a VHS tape. Now I didn't know that what porn was on there. He taped over a porn with a cowboy movie, which I love cowboy movies. I mean karate movies. Oh my! I was a fanatic back then. So once it was over, boom! I'm like, what is that? I mean, first time in my life I've seen that stuff, but it was violent. It was like, oh, that's my God. At least to me anyway. There was nothing about that was, that was.
You turn that video on now, you might see a little different opinion on that, DJ KTE.
My first experience was that, what is that? What's going on there? I mean, this is crazy. So
now you're gonna be like, oh, you doing it wrong.
So I'm saying, so the reality is that yes, I think that there are people in the church that use it, people in the world that uses it, people whatever, for different purpose. But I think that if it makes you feel disconnected from your partner, I think it shouldn't be done.
Absolutely.
If you make you feel as if you're not,
it's like if you have a taste for coffee, but you can't have the caffeine, you're gonna drink some decaf. So basically, the porn is like decaf because you can't have the real thing until you can get the real thing.
Okay, that's a great analogy.
You know what I mean? That's
a great analogy.
Some partners, porn is same as cheating.
If it makes you feel disconnected from your spouse, less than. It shouldn't be. I think it should be used.
It's supposed to be there. To me, it's supposed to be there to help you get through those times when things aren't going where they need to be going. Like you need to get a little something off your chest, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's how you get it off your chest.
Okay.
The one challenge though that I'm thinking, there's this concept in neurology where we have these mirror neurons, and essentially the theory is even if you did it, you saw it, you listened to it, your brain codes it as if it's your memories. So that's the one caveat that's kind of dicey, because you might be encoding stuff that then becomes subconsciously a part of your expectations. You end up becoming dissatisfied because you've seen so many different heroic acts.
Yeah, and Mark said it earlier, Steve. I think what you're saying is that Mark said, if you didn't choke her 15 years ago, don't start choking her now. That's different. He clearly, that was his point. I think that's exactly what you're alluding to right now.
And like KTE said, he slipped that off when he realized it wasn't a cowboy film. He took that stuff out. He tossed it. Right,
it's a different thing if you're watching it and then if you're actually feeling it. You know what I mean? There's You can watch this all you want, and you're not going to be desensitized to the actual act.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
But what Steve was saying was that your brain starts to encode that behavior that you're watching, so that
your memory.
And then you're going to react the way that your brain has encoded that memory.
Right. That's how they become desensitized.
So it can affect the real thing, your real spouse, and so they lose out.
I'll let you know if that happens.
You've decided that you won't let it happen.
Oh my God, Dre Dog, I just love you so much tonight.
What's not to love, right?
If you ever catch one of our shows,
Thank you, Lady Misty.
Oh my goodness.
man.
Listen, I'm having so much fun engaging with you guys tonight. We're almost at the halfway mark, and I want to get in some comments. Now, some persons have been texting me. I don't know why they're telling me that they should remain anonymous, but I want to throw some questions at you. So, this is from the first Lady Anonymous, and they said, "Just keep their names out of it." I'm like, okay, I'm going to honor that. All right. So the first question says, so what do you do if your partner, and this is a female talking now, so what do you do if your partner has not had sex with you for almost 2 months?
Oh wow.
How do I approach him?
KG Money.
Oh, how does the female approach the male?
Yes.
Naked.
Yeah, I was gonna say just be butt ass naked.
I mean,
It's 2 months. All right, I'm ready. Don't do
yeah,
that.
you know, we primal animals. We just gonna stop what we're doing. Look, I could be in the middle of a conversation with my mama. You come in the room naked, it's over.
Just tap him on the shoulder. Say, hey, just blow on me.
Okay.
Boy.
That's an easy one. That's an
Okay.
easy one.
Yeah.
But I think with this question though that there may need to be some context.
Sure.
Because we may not know what's going on and stuff. So if you're hearing me and you want to send me that, let's talk about it. All right, because is it normal for a man to go that long without sex and the partner is not sick?
Are we talking about a married man or a single man? Because we're talking about a married
A
man.
man in a relationship, marriage.
Yeah,
or
well,
committed
a man,
relationship.
it can be depending on the relationship.
Long distance relationship. I mean,
Yeah.
No,
If it's long, then
this don't sound like a long distance relationship. No.
the answer is no.
If you're not married, 2 months without sex is a long ass time. Excuse my language. It's a
think
long
so?
time. Yeah, without
So
you're not
if
married. If
And
you're
if
married,
you're
that's
married-
that's not.
If you are married and you go 2 months without sex, that's a long ass time too.
Well,
yeah, you're married. I mean, come on, think about it. Yeah, you're
I
married.
mean, yes, it's a long time, but like it's not a
It's
deal
not out of the
breaker. You're like
question.
something's
Yeah,
going
you know what I
on.
mean? Like,
You know what I mean? Like
you know what? This is it. I'm packing my shit. I'm out.
we got
You know what I mean?
we gotta fix our communicational hygiene, like Steve said. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till our next show. I know these guys are gonna be using that. the whole
Hey,
podcast.
something ain't right. Take a bath, baby. You know what I mean? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Your hygiene is incorrect.
All
You
that-
need to,
But
you need to freshen it up a little bit.
It may sound funny, but there are many little things that sometimes happen in a marriage, or in a relationship that turns one spouse off, but nobody talk about it. They kind of
That's what I
shun
was
it
about to say. That's exactly what I was about to
because
say.
it feels like it's just too embarrassing to say it. Like, how can I tell her? How can I tell him that this? It's like, how can you break it in a way they don't feel too bad? It's a tricky thing, man. Tricky thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, lady,
Go ahead, Mark.
Mister, you said it. We need more context in order to break that one down for that young lady. Because it could be anything. I mean, the guy could be done with her. He could be done emotionally, physically. He could just not be attracted to her anymore.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But without more context,
Well, you guys are all old married dudes, and I'm speaking of the 4 and 4 guys. So, are you still able to answer questions about relationships that aren't
Yes.
related to marriage?
Yes.
of course, I think so.
Okay.
Very
Sure.
open-minded.
Yeah.
Now I got a question for you. We've been talking about men, but also it's not always the men. Sometimes the women are shooting the man down, and then depending on who the man is, he might be taking that as personal or starts affecting his
Internalizing it.
self-image.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So now he feels as though he's not attractive, or he feel like he's not doing it. So then when he finally gets something, he's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just like, ugh. It's, slam bam, ooh, it's over. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
it's that two-way street where it's got it. That's why I was saying like earlier in the show, if she's just laying there and just let me get my rocks off, I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? Yes, I appreciate it, but that I'm not going to continue to be like the marathon man or anything like that. Oh my God, all right, I'm done. You wasn't feeling it. Let's call it a wrap. You know what I mean? It's what the female also throwing back at you.
It goes back to G's earlier question: Are we allowed to be dissatisfied as men?
Yes, we are.
I think it depends upon the hygiene of your communication in your marriage.
You done started something, Mr. Lawrence. You done
Mr.
started something.
Lawrence, that is going to be a trademark statement. Okay, you need to register that.
I'm going to text him tomorrow with that same line.
I'm going to use it too.
It's real. It's real. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to talk to my wife real quick. Find out what's going on with her hygiene.
But great on. What you said was so significant, because what we need to recognize is there's this old adage where the grass looks greener on the other side because it's fertilized with bull whatever. But the truth is, in some instances, a partner emasculates the male, assuming that getting naked fixes it, not realizing that an apology, a sincere apology, and making it clear that that path will not be followed again, that wounding, because I've seen it. I've actually been in a relationship where anything that can be said will be said, especially because I will never strike a woman. So anything can be said to me, and I would not retaliate. But would I feel like being close to that person in that way?
No.
I'm not sure that's something I want to do. I don't want to be in the same room. And that's the reality, is because some people are convinced that
Did we lose Steve again?
Oh, he we was all waiting.
We were all. There he goes. He's back. He's back. Oh,
yeah, I'm back. But, it's just males have emotions too.
Yeah.
Both people have emotions, and we have to nurture and affirm and support. And emasculating will never yield good results. But guess what? It's a training. It's a training. I remember this was probably 20, almost 30 years ago. I followed a friend of mine. We were dating friends, and we went they were getting their hair done for us to go out. And we sat there long enough for them to forget that men were in the salon. And
wow, that should be very interesting. That should be very interesting.
That's not interesting. That was some scary stuff.
Oh my God.
When we heard people unpack what they did with who was on the tail, and who was the second and the third, and who was the backup, and who was gonna get ditched. And I'm like, are they talking about human beings? Someone that they profess, and we sat there long enough for them to forget. And I left that space with a complete different understanding of male-female dynamics. But what I also understood was that was being imprinted. That was being passed on. That was becoming a part of the oral tradition that the older females within the space were reinforcing. And that was going to get transmitted. So a lot of people going into relationships, the dysfunction that's been coded in.
Oh, scary.
It's scary, right? It's not healthy. If you listen to like back home in Jamaica, back in the day, when you listen to an aunt who was single, or a grandma that was single, or whoever that was single, give relationship advice.
My goodness. Wow.
Yes.
As an adult now, with adult eyes, you understood now, you clearly understand why they were single. Because they were so toxic, they should not be listened to. But they were the patriarch, they were the matriarch, they were, so they got to reinforce with oral tradition what we took on as our value system. And one of the things we did before we got married, we did a lot of therapy, because we said, we've been through some stuff. And if you've been in a dysfunctional relationship long enough, don't think it hasn't changed you. You are not the person that you were when you came in. And we put the work in. We got counseling. We saw psychologists. We did the work.
Before you got married?
Like, I do not want to hurt you the way I've been hurt. And I don't want my baggage and my past to cause you pain. And that's real. That takes time and effort and deliberate understanding of what you want to do and what you want to build together.
I feel like Steve, you did that before you got married?
Yes. And even now we still do. Yeah.
I feel like I should be calling you Doc.
Ongoing.
Steve, are you in the field? What's your background?
That's a good question. I specialize mainly I'm in computer science, and I do curriculum work. So I'm an educator / technology specialist. But I do a lot of counseling because I'm involved in church heavily.
I see.
I have another question for you guys, and this one is from a male. Yeah. And the question is, my wife, let me get it. My wife has a higher sex drive than I do. I'm in my mid-40s. Is having a schedule something that will help?
As long as every time she wanted is on that schedule, I would imagine.
What is the issue here? I don't see the problem.
No, hold on. Listen, you got to give the guy some.
Well, you'll be surprised.
He's a human being. Listen,
he's saying that his wife has a higher sex drive than he does.
Exactly. Imagine what that might look like for you, Terry, or for you, G.
I've never seen that guy.
I'm just saying, like, I
really? You've never seen a woman with a higher sex drive than a male?
It's at my house. I was referring to my house.
I hadn't heard of it.
I'm married. I'm married in with my marriage. How I view marriage from being married for 19 years. This is how I view this.
Yeah.
From years before marriage, I would say that there has been a few instances where that equation met me, and it's interesting. It's almost as if you can't answer your phone and you got to run from somebody. If you really, I mean, that's a lot, because this is before the blue pill. This is before you got there was no marriage or nothing, but it was just, like, hey, here she comes to me. You know what I mean? You had to step away for a second. You know what I mean? And not because just because it was so much. You know what I mean? It was a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even. And if he's married to, I don't even know what to tell him except for he's got to get a prescription or something. Because you have to keep up with that. I would imagine that's something that you got to fight to keep up with.
I don't know if you have to. Is he married? He said he was married.
Yeah, he's married. He said his wife.
He's married. He's in his mid-40s.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Tell him to hit the gym.
He said
I think I would definitely encourage him to do like a real overall search on what might be the issue, because sometimes it could be psychological, it could be something maybe financial stress, could be something going on there
on her part or his.
This dude
on her part or his.
I'm sorry. This guy knew who his wife was from day one. She's been that active since day one.
Come on, Mark. You just said that he was a human, and come on now.
But I'm just saying he's human, but he's known her. Like, he's married to her. That changes things for me because he's married. So he didn't just learn that she's got a high sex drive. You knew that going.
Her sex drive probably stayed at a high level, and his may have dipped. He's got to increase his.
My point.
And that's what I feel like. He's got to figure out how to increase his.
So Mark, just jumping in on what you're saying. The thing is, the data says about 50% of men, by the time they hit mid-40, there's some kind of dysfunction.
And he's mid-40.
Yes,
he's in that age bracket.
With the right communication hygiene, they would go see a urologist together. They'd get the screening. He'd get his hormone levels checked. And that could be medically managed. Right. So there are a lot of options, but that's why I'm saying the communication is important, because my wife is listening in the background, and she was the one that weighed in, because she says, they have done their test and found men who don't have the level of testosterone. It's tanking. So like Mark, he's not having that trouble. Like me,
Right.
he's hyper-producing testosterone. That's why we have no hair.
Exactly.
Not knocking you, G-Money. You have something going on. You're fine, but
you know what, Steve? I was wondering why I'm such a freak. That's
so you get freaky with a bald head. You get freaky with a bald head. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Become creative,
y'all done made some stuff up, man. Come on.
You become creative, I tell you.
Here's another question for you guys. So for somebody that's listening, why is sex controlled by the woman? And in a story where I am this animal.
No, read it again.
Why is sex controlled by the woman? And in a story where I am this animal. I'm not sure I understand that.
Is it like the king and the queen type thing? I mean, you know,
I'm
you're
guessing. I'm
pleasing
not
your
sure.
queen. Steve, help me out with that.
it might be that music video. I think it was Chandelier. That
wow.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Let me pull that up.
Listen,
wow. Good one, Steve. That was a good one.
If this was his question or not, but when you started reading the question, are women, you know, why are they are in control of sex? They call the shots. It's I think it's their bag, it's their deal.
Right. Yeah, I think this is because it says I think the man is saying that she calls the shots in the bedroom and he's expected to show up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and be ready.
Yeah.
He's under a lot of pressure.
And show up and please. So, you know.
This
culture again, no communication, just expectations.
Yeah. This is a question I want to get out there. How do I start an uncomfortable conversation with my partner when I fear how she may react?
So I want you to text back to that gentleman. You need to tell your wife to start expecting the situation start respecting the situation instead of expecting the situation.
Don't tell her, ask her, teach her.
I need you to expect. I need you to respect, not expect.
But that's.
Did you say teach?
No, I'm just saying don't tell. Women don't like to be told anything. You don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, we don't.
Yeah, tell them nothing.
and there within lies the problem.
What do you think about this? You know, how do you feel about this, honey? What do you think about this, honey? You know, how do you feel about this, honey? What do you think about this?
So how do we start? How do we start that uncomfortable conversation with a partner? Because the listener is asking, how do I start the uncomfortable conversation with my partner when I fear how she may react?
I think for me that's it's kind of easy. I have to put myself in her shoes. How do I want to hear this question? And I do it instinctually with just about everybody I talk to. You know, before I say something, I first figure out, well, my delivery, how is it going to be received? And so for me, I just think about how would I want to hear this if I was in that person's shoes, and I say it that way.
Empathy, yeah.
And I think that and what Mark said, I agree with everything you said, Mark. In addition to that, that person also needs to think about, you know, if anger or if that uncomfortable conversation turns into something that he doesn't want, or if I can't remember if it was a she or he, but if he doesn't want it, he's got to be ready to deal with that and not shy away from that. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be ready to deal with the conversation and how it may go in either direction. You know, so if it goes positive, yes. If it goes in another direction, he's got to be ready to deal with that as well. And that's the fear part. The fear is if I ask this question, she's going to be mad. And I can speak from experience on that. Like when you ask you don't want to ask a question because you're fearful of what may come down the pike or what the answer may be or how she may react to it. So if you get over that fear and you just kind of empathize with how you want to ask the question, you ask it, and then you kind of move on, however it is.
This was a
Let
big
me
time
let me
for
just
us.
shoot off some comments here. Travel Escapade saying too many unrealistic expectations for me, suffocating sometimes. Sometimes Ricardo Briggs, good night Ricardo. He's saying respect Mark, real talk, sacrifice what we want for what the family needs. That's being a man. Uh, NetZen says no. Just Ricky, good night. Just Ricky says no romance without finance. True for both men and women. And also, she's just Ricky says married or not, 2 months without sex. We're roommates now.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I see Travel Escapades
Jacob, that's it.
hashtagging communication hygiene. Good night, weekend show. I see you, Apostle Faith. Good night, Apostle Faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's great to be seen again. Let me see. The weekend show is bigging up DJ KTE and also saying this is why communication and understanding is crucial.
Yeah.
Travel Escapades also saying, I would like to be allowed to be emotional sometimes too, or engage in uncomfortable conversations without being considered weak. And we know how we know how men and the egos are. Let's see. I see random nobody is here tonight. Yes. And she is a Forum 4 fan. So she's
Big
bigging
up.
up Forum 4.
Big up.
Trish.
Yes. Yes, I want to say thank you so much for your comments, guys. Let me see if I'm missing anybody. I want to make sure that I see everybody and talk. I know we're almost out of time, but I want to make sure that I've reached everybody. And do we use sex as relieving? Do we use sex as releasing stress? Do we get more satisfaction from it that way? I know we had that topic last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which was an
we talked
awesome
about.
conversation.
That's a whole another
Thank
chapter,
you.
huh?
So is it a greater satisfaction? I got a message talking about makeup sex being greater satisfaction, sex for stress, greater satisfaction, and
I used to date a
how
girl.
how do we assess this dissatisfaction? How do you assess it as a man as we close out? How do we assess it? Um, would
With
that be
sex
only
stress.
if they get a no, or yes, just the sexual experience? How do you assess it? How do you
What I was gonna
assess
say,
dissatisfaction?
I used to date this girl, and we would get into arguments or fights just to have makeup sex,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was just like really intense, but it was
Steve, I
toxic
feel
in
the
the
same
sense.
way,
So you
Steve. I
you
feel the same way,
intentionally
Steve.
you intentionally pick a fight?
She would, and then we would make
Oh.
up.
You never did that, huh?
No,
You never picked a fight.
I don't like to fight with argue. It's just
Okay.
it's just a no winning battle on my end.
That sounds like a win, bro. After you picking a fight with her,
but the whole
that sounds like
relationship
you
was
winning
just
the fight.
toxic. It was toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
You were
It
shifting the
was
power
cool.
dynamics.
It was cool like for a month or so, and then after a while, it was
Like, okay, enough's enough. Yeah, this is too much scratches here.
exactly.
Yeah.
My nose
Now,
off.
once again, like now I've been with my wife. We've been together like 18 years, and and we don't always have makeup sex after a fight. Sometimes we somebody sleeping on the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just out of frustration.
Just say you, man. Just say you.
No,
Go ahead, say it.
no.
But
Oh my goodness.
gentlemen, as we getting close to that closing point, I want to say something here because I like what G Money said earlier. He said, I really like you said something that was very powerful. And what you said, I saw teamwork. Teamwork. You said we. I can call my man, call my boy here. That was very powerful because, see, many people feel isolated.
Yep.
And they are isolated. But you guys show men coming together and not only have a relationship in your own different space, but you're able to relate, have a conversation. Hey, what's up? XYZ. And I'm hearing where brother came in and said, hey, you know what? Hey, don't do that. Try this way. Try this approach. Support. I'm hearing that men, because when we're together, we're strong. When we are divided. So I like that, G-Man. I like that how you brought that in. And I see, you guys talk about the fact that, at the end of the day, Mr. Big Mark, we can be vulnerable. Think about it a little bit more. Don't you're the man still. You you're the man, but hey, how about think it through? Empathy. Man, listen, Dre, boy, I tell you are the man. Transparency. I tell you,
listen, he is.
Dre is he's like a show by himself, man. Dre, man.
Yes.
And of course, to have you, brother T, man, just very smooth, down the middle. Let's keep it real. I like that. So, I mean, I'm sure our audience was well inspired, not only entertained, but learned something from you guys.
Yes, I see a comment here, DJ KTE.
You guys are really,
Travel Escapades is saying, I come here every night with my pen and paper, and the weekend show is saying, please bring them back.
Yes, you guys are really something. Really special guys.
We don't do that.
And Mr. Lawrence, man, listen, you're like a glue. You keep us on the right path here, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
So was objective.
Yes, so audience, listen, man. I thank you for joining us tonight. You hear these brothers here, and hopefully you will take away some nuggets here in your own relationship. And if you're not in one yet, at least you'll have some ideas when you go in one. How to really navigate it more. So again, brothers, LTR, we love you, Lady Misty. You're the best. It works already.
Thank you. I want to say I am so happy to be a part of this show. I'm so happy to be around all you men. It's always great to talk to men. All right.
Yeah. Strong men.
Strong men. I saw a comment, saying that, it's very inspiring hearing from Black kings. We got to be talking to each other.
Yeah.
And, being a woman, hearing a man's side of the story and a man's perspective is always a great way. It will help to build my own relationship so that when I hear my husband talking, I'm like, okay, I remember what Dre Dog said. I need to listen. I remember what Big Man, and, I remember Steve saying, come on, Lady Misty, you got to keep that hygiene, that communication hygiene going. I'm pulling out of the conversation for my own relationship. But thank you so much.
New hashtag.
Of course. Yeah, it's a new hashtag. I'm gonna put it on a shirt. Okay, I'm gonna put it on a shirt.
Send me one. I'm in.
Yeah, we gotta be selling these shirts. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it was such an engaging, wholesome conversation, and we leave each conversation so full each week. And my cup is full tonight. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I know you are very busy, and you could have been doing a whole lot of different things, but you have decided to keep our company here on Let's Talk Relationships tonight. And
respect.
Yes, man, definitely. So quickly go ahead. You can go ahead and tell us where do we find you and how to connect with you.
Thank you, Lady Misty. Thank you, DJ KTE, for having us, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. We really appreciate it. For Steve, thank you for all, Mr. Lawrence, all the wisdom that you gave us. And folks, you can find us on YouTube at The Forum 4. We're Facebook at The Forum 4 Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at The Forum 4, IG The Forum 4, and TikTok at The Forum 4 Podcast. So step on our platform, be able, just comment, subscribe, like what you know. And Steve, I'm telling you something, we have a guest spot for you coming up real soon, brother. We can't wait to have you on.
And I'll be there to listen. I'll
definitely check you guys out for real. Gentlemen, again, thanks for coming.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you to all our commenters tonight. Thank you.
Steve, let us know where to find you, Steve.
Oh, well, I'm found mainly in church, Restoration Ministries Bermuda on YouTube, and I'm Brother Steve Lawrence on Instagram.
All right.
Church. So it's Restoration Ministries Bermuda.
Nice.
So,
Good to
Thank
meet
you for
man.
Thank you for everyone who dropped your comments tonight. Thank you for listening. We had a great show tonight. Enjoy the rest of your week. And that's a wrap from us on Let's Talk Relationship. God bless you all.
International.
Let's talk
relationships on ICYMI Radio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
and love, emotions, sex.
It's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
and DJ KTE
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on ICYMI Radio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on ICYMI Radio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the ICYMI Radio app to listen wherever you are. That is ICYMI Radio. One word.
ICYMI Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.